Often, we believe only what we can see. Sometimes we only see what we want to be true. The illusion of truth. That's our topic on this episode of the Educators Among Us podcast.
Welcome to the Educators Among Us podcast, where we share motivational messages and inspiring stories for and about educators. Your host, Scott Barron, is author of the critically acclaimed book, Love 'Em and Lead 'Em, and provides powerful insights and wisdom for those who heed the call to teach, coach, lead, and serve at all levels of education.
This is Scott Barron, and I'm so honored to be your host for the Educators Among Us podcast, a very special program for those who serve in all levels of education. We appreciate you. We pray for you. We love you. And we're so thankful that you have the courage to be there, to show up every day and do what it takes, because educators take on a significant challenge. It never varies that the things we have planned sometimes for the day or the week, they get thrown off because things come up and we run into those challenges with people and conflict and expectations that that it just comes with the package. And we're thankful that you're able to see through it, to see the bigger picture, and to stay focused and committed to your goals and to the what people depend on you for. Thank you. Thank you for being there every single day. And congratulations. Congratulations on completing another quarter of the school year. It's the 1st of October here. And so for many around the world, this was the first quarter of 2025-26, and significant growth has occurred, right? I mean, just think about it. We've onboarded new people onto the team. We've added new families into our community. Ideally, we've strengthened the organizational culture and, with greater clarity regarding our core values. We've combined that with courageous leadership to hold accountability with love and with truth. Wow. I mean, that's very significant. We've also improved the experience, right? That our curriculum and our co-curriculum, because we recognize that talented, energized, engaged educators, they are the product of the school, and the quality of the experience makes the greatest difference in their learning and their lives, right? The people that we serve through our work, the students, the parents, and others that are part of our journey. It's the living curriculum that has the greatest impact. And so, wow, that's a lot to think about and reflect on, but it's vital. It's vital as a learning organization to confidently know that we've grown. We've grown up. We're better at the end of this quarter than we were at the end of last quarter. We're better at the end of this quarter than we were at the end of last year, right? We've grown. And that's worth celebrating. And so we're thankful that you get a chance to do that together there on your campus and your organization. And I hope you'll take the time to do that. Of course, we know that it's important that we're also recalibrating for a new set of goals for this quarter, because growing as a learning organization is even more important in this new era of education and the challenges within the larger society. We've got a lot going on, and it's easy to think that we have all the answers, but honesty requires us to accept that we are guilty sometimes of something called motivated reasoning. Now, that's a concept that needs a little more explanation. So let me give you some thoughts, right? As Warren Buffett once said, what the human being is best at doing is interpreting all new information so that prior conclusions remain intact. Right? In other words, we're really good at seeing new information, new data, situations, and we really want it to fit. We want it to fit within what we already know, what we already believe, instead of maybe maybe considering that this requires us to rethink things, right? And a good example of motivated reasoning, it occurred last Saturday. Watching college football it's a thing in our family, right? And we make it especially exciting by endlessly texting each other about the plays, and about the penalties and the performances and our perspective and so on and so on, right? Trying to keep up with the texting speed of some of these guys, it's actually burning calories for me because they're really fast, and so I try to keep up. But during a recent rivalry game, it was interesting how some of us saw the results so differently. Was that a penalty or was that not a penalty? Was that a touchdown? Was that not a touchdown? I mean, there was just a lot of stuff, right? And our perspective, the opinions that we had, were driven by our own allegiances, our desired outcomes, and our competitiveness, right? How could we be watching the same game on the same channel with very detailed replays and still argue over what occurred? It's weird, right? But it's part of the journey. Progress is impossible without change, said George Bernard Shaw, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Now that's pretty convicting, right? Motivated reasoning arises when we have relentless confidence in what we already believe, interpreting events to support our case, and ignoring conflicting evidence. We're committed, and talking us out of it it's close to impossible. And of course, we run into this sometimes in dealing with conflicts that arise with among students or students and parents, or even with colleagues, and we run into this barrier of this mindset. We all suffer from this mindset, but before considering all the evidence, a preferred theory is quickly chosen. We've landed on it. And then evidence is gathered not to test it, but to confirm it. It's a bit of some ignorance kind of built into foolishness, right? Because we don't listen. We don't reconsider. We're not willing to change our minds. And if we can't change our minds, then what can we change, right? Facts don't go away when they're ignored. And such confirmation bias, it makes it really difficult to reason with each other, to solve problems, to negotiate with each other. Our greatest foe, hear me, our greatest foe isn't ignorance. It's the illusion of truth. It's us fooling ourselves by not listening. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 5. You see, it's a tricky thing, this motivated reasoning. It's a tricky thing in that it doesn't feel like self-deception. It feels good, actually. It feels good as our minds confidently use false arguments that are so convincing. That's what makes this delusional foolishness so powerfully dangerous to our cause. It's so powerfully dangerous to our culture. It's so powerfully dangerous to our convictions, right? Wisdom isn't a natural byproduct of our curriculum or our professional development. It comes from genuine pursuit, from commitment, from desire, from where we ask for it, we pray for it, and we seek it. Where we seek wise counsel, we humble our prideful spirit, and we thoughtfully reason. That level of self-awareness is invaluable anywhere, in any school, in any organization, in any family, in any community, in any society. That level of self-awareness where we can check that motivated reasoning. Hey, check your motivations this week, my friend, avoiding the traps of self-deception to keep your mind open to the truth, to wisdom and the truth. Hey, We've just started this last quarter of 2025. It's October, November, December is where we get to wrap up a very exciting year. Lots of things have happened, and yet so much happens over these next 3 months. There's a lot to go. Family conferences, right, where we get to sit down and kind of review progress and important traditions, and we get to check our own growth plans. Ideally, hopefully, you as an educator, you have a growth plan that you're working on, and that someone is building into you and providing accountability and encouragement for you in that growth. Enrollment events that you probably have happening at your school, certainly fundraising campaigns, and just so many things. Hey, may your plans for this quarter be especially blessed as you wrap up 2025 with lots to celebrate and so much momentum, not only in your school, but in your life as well. Hey, a coaching question to ask yourself at the end of each day. Did I do my best to check my reasoning today? Did I do my best to check my reasoning today? Love them and lead them, my friend. This is Scott.
Thank you for joining us for the Educators Among Us podcast and for your courageous commitment to this noble calling. We get you and the challenges of this work. To stay connected with this community, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and weekly encouragement at educatorsamongus.com.